Good, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So good to see you again today. Welcome to Leo's YouTube channel, Speak to Your Heart. Today, ladies and gentlemen, in this episode, we are going to talk on the topic Pathway to Becoming a DTM in Toastmasters. And to take us along this journey in this path, we have indeed a young, vibrant, vivacious, and a visionary Toastmaster, Madam Toastmaster Medad, who has been in Toastmasters fraternity for little over a year. She's already a president of a Toastmasters club called Universal Toastmasters here in the United Arab Emirates. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Madam Toastmaster Medad. Madam Toastmaster Medad, it's over to you.
Thank you, DTM Leo, for having me on your show. It's really a pleasure to be here and sharing the screen with you. I know I have prepared lots of questions for you, and I'm really curious to know more about it. When I started my journey in Toastmasters, I get to hear a lot about DTM, Distinguished Toastmasters. And I get to see there is a hype about it. So now I'm intrigued to know more about it, since you are already entitled with this particular title. So now I'd like to know more about it. What's the roadmap for reaching this particular goal in Toastmasters? And how can we design our roadmap to reach there?
Interesting, and very good question. DTM, as you rightly said, is Distinguished Toastmaster, which is the highest award that one can get in Toastmasters. Today, in the Toastmasters curriculum, we have two journeys to become a DTM. One is the old one, and now is, I think a couple of years ago, they introduced the new one called Pathways. And that was the old curriculum. I have done my old curriculum. I joined Toastmasters in 2003, September. I still remember the day that I joined. And it was 22nd of September, 2003.
Interesting.
And it took me a number of years to become a DTM. The whole idea was not to be a DTM. The whole idea was to learn and uplift myself and raise my bar of performance in communication and leadership skills. DTM happened along the way. Now we can talk about DTM in two parts, that is the old one and the new curriculum, how to achieve it. Yeah. So which one would you like to know, the old one or the new one, and what is the journey all about? And one important thing, whichever path you choose, you got to enjoy the journey, have fun along it, and just consummate it. That fun, that enjoyment, that raising your bar of performance every time, all the time, and not once upon a time.
Absolutely.
Yes. Which one would you like to know, or would you like to know both?
I think it would be better if we talk about the pathways, the new one, since the old manual has already been obsolete.
Yes.
From the curriculum. So I think it's better we talk about how we can achieve DTM title in pathways.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster, Madam Toastmaster. But I would still, it's always, I'm doing my pathways, and I have almost cleared one level, that is effective coaching, that I'm doing about, since coaching is and mentoring is close to my heart. But I still like this manual. I would like to bring it to the attention. It's called Competent Communicator. It's brilliant. There are 10 speeches, and trust me, if you master those 10 speeches, you are going to be the best communicator in the world. These are the basics, these are the fundamentals The basics will never change. you know as they
That's
say,
true.
form is temporary but class is permanent, and this manual gives you the class. My suggestion to all Toastmasters who are joining, try and complete this. I have the PDF version of this. Yes, I can send it to anyone and anybody who needs it. It is amazing. This can launch your career to be an amazing public speaker and a competent communicator in the world. Then, of course, do
Wow.
the pathways, because pathways is not very, very clear on how individual attributes you can develop or attain that skill. But this
Mhm.
manual does do it. Since I've done the old one and I'm doing the new one, this is my experience of the new path that I'm doing. One path I've completed. I'll complete the
Mhm.
second path, and there you go. Before I can
Wow.
say Jack Robinson, I'm a DTM in pathways. Hmm? Now
Excellent.
we are talking about the new path, right? Now,
Yes.
new pathways to a DTM is you got to finish two paths, if I'm not mistaken. We have subdivided it into five, I think, five, how to achieve the pathways.
Okay.
First one is education session. So you got to clear the education path. There are 5 lanes in that path. So the first lane is education. The second one is the club leadership. The third one is the district leadership. Then comes the club extension, which we'll talk about in detail. And then we talk about the club support, how you support the club. And these 5 lanes you have to go through. Or in other words, there will be these 5 paths along the path to become a DTA, along the journey to be a DTA.
All right. So since you mentioned the first point,
Yeah,
education session.
can't hear you. Can you
So
speak a little louder, please?
yeah, as you mentioned, the first step will be education session. So
Yeah.
shall we just shed some more light on this particular thing?
Come again, I didn't hear you. Can you speak a little louder?
Yeah, you mentioned the first step will be education
Yeah.
session. So why don't we shed some light on this
Yeah,
first?
education session is given to understand is 2 parts. In the one pathway you take, maybe effective coaching, mentoring, or whatever
Mhm.
it could be, innovative planning, and there are 10, I think, different ones. I think mentoring is added to it now.
Yes.
And of the 10, you can choose two. You need to choose two. How do you choose those two? Toastmasters provide you a guidance. You have to answer the queries, the questions, and they tell you this is a good fit for you. But what I have done is that they said leadership is good for you. But I have done leadership. I said to myself, no, I would like to do coaching. So I surpassed it, overrode it, went above their head, and chose coaching, effective
All right.
coaching, because this I felt was good. So you can choose whichever one you want, and the career you like to utilize it on. As
Mhm.
I say, Toastmasters is just a practice ground for the real thing that happens to you in your life outside, where you want to utilize it, where you want to earn your money from it, and where your passion lies on it, which you would like to do for the rest of your life. Now you complete 2 parts, and
Okay.
that's it. And the third one, I think, is to do a session, completion of a distinguished Toastmaster project. Once you have achieved all the other 4, which I will be talking about. Shall we talk about the other ones?
Sure, go ahead.
Then is the club leadership, which you need to take. That is, become a club officer for a 1 year term. I do know before it was 6 month term, but now they have made it to 12 months, 1 year term. It could be president, it could be VP education, it could be VPM membership, VPPR, treasurer, surgeon, anything. They said a club officer. There are 7 club
Okay.
officers, which makes an excom. So you choose one of it. That helps the leadership. The third one is district leadership. In other words, you serve as a district officer for a 12-month period. District officers taken into account are area directors, division directors, and members of, and of course, then you have the district committee, PQD,
Mm-mm.
CGD, and district director. And
So it could be any of these
yes,
among the district,
correct.
not specifically the area director or the district director,
Yes,
but any of the leadership roles which we have taken within the district leadership.
yes,
Okay.
absolutely right, spot on. Club extension. Shall I continue or have any more
Sure,
questions,
sure, sure.
madam?
I'm okay
Okay.
with it.
The fourth part now is club extension. What does the club extension means? You serve as a club sponsor for a new club or a speech coordinator or a youth leadership coordinator. Club sponsor
Okay.
basic means that for a new club, you sponsor the club in helping set up the club. When you have demo sessions, etc., they take part in it. Once the demo session is over and we have 20 members to form a club, you get the forms, fill in the forms, and send it to the headquarters. That's the job of a club sponsor. Speechcraft coordinator again is a speechcraft, one of the attributes of Toastmasters, where we go to different organizations and
Mhm.
do a speechcraft, a program tailored by Toastmasters for those who want to learn about speeches and then get into the formation of a club, like a corporate club. So you be a coordinator for that. Need
Okay.
not
So
necessarily be
basically,
a corporate, it could be a community for that matter, or a
okay.
society
So
for that matter.
basically, it's like conducting speeches outside Toastmasters.
Yes, absolutely right.
Okay.
And the third
And the
is
third one?
youth leadership. It's called YLP, Youth Leadership Program Coordinator. Youth leadership is again a program run by Toastmasters, sponsored by any of the clubs. The main reason was one of the reasons was to raise money for the club, which was lacking in funds, not enough membership or whatever for that matter. And it's a 7 or 8 day program which has to be conducted, and you have to be part of it. There's a committee, and you coordinate this program. That is, you act as a bridge between that particular club who's forming it and the one you want to, the youths that you want to let this program, you make this program known to. And these youths are between the age of 12 to 18, over 11.
Okay, okay.
One.
I just have another quick question related to youth leadership program.
Hmm.
Can this be conducted at universities or schools?
Anyway, as I said, age is a criteria between the
Okay,
age of 12 to 18.
all right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
So
of
this is
course, then the last one is the club support. Club support basically means you support a club, like, and you be a mentor or a club coach. Now, many of the Toastmasters, newcomers especially, misunderstand the word mentor. Mentor basically means a mentor of a new club. Mentor of a new club, like I'm starting now, we had a demo session of senior legends, which you took part in it the other day.
yes.
Senior legends, once the club is formed, I, who's the host, and together with my sponsors who are helping me, one of them is you, I think,
Mhm.
you, yeah, will have, you know, here we will need a club mentor. We don't need a club coach. We need a club mentor and a club sponsor.
Okay.
And we
Now,
need two of each.
you just mentioned that you need two sponsors and two mentors.
Mentor
So
for the
maybe,
club.
people might be wondering, what is the difference between a coach and a mentor?
Oh, very, very good question. I have also struggled with it many times. What's the difference between a coach and a mentor? You know, now coach,
Sometimes people just simply confuse the two.
yeah. Now, very clear distinguishment as far as I'm concerned. I've done both the roles. I've been a club mentor, of course, to be a DTM. Now, mentor is the one who knows the way and shows you the way and goes along with you the way. He's all along there in a club. He's there for 6 months at the beginning of the club start till 6 months from that time. And he has to be there for every meeting and just be there in the club. And mentor is a long-term process, unlike a coach. I'll come to the difference between a mentor and coach. So a mentor just be there, and whatever difficulties or questions the club has in the beginning, they go to the mentor answers to them because they all knew, and they will have a lot of queries. And a mentor is an experienced person in Toastmasters who will help guide them how to go about it, how to be the best you in a member in the club. Coach is a bit different. Coach is like he'll give you feedback. He tells you how well you did, how to do it, where to do it, when to do it, all these, and also how well you did and how you could do better. And it's a short-term process, coach, while mentoring is a long-term process. Coaching is basically used a term in Toastmasters for dying clubs who have less than 12 members. Then you appoint a coach.
Okay.
And the coach's job is to also take part in help getting more members, being there with the club and coaching the members of the club, basically. It's a club which has been formed, but for some reason is on the decline. Does that answer your
Now,
question? Yeah.
yes, it did. It did. I just have another question. So I've seen for the mentor, we need to serve for a period of 6 months
Yes,
in order to get the credits for that.
absolutely.
So is there a certain period that we have to fulfill for being a coach
Sorry,
to
I
get
didn't
the
quite hear.
particular?
1 minute, 1 minute. What to close the door? Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
That's okay. So my question was that according to Toastmasters International, in order to get the credit for a mentor, you need to serve 6 months
Yes.
at any club, right?
No, no,
So
not
now,
at
is
any
there?
club. No, no, no. Let me correct you. Not at any club. Not a club that is already running. It is a new club.
Oh, okay.
Yes, like
Okay,
Senior
okay,
Legends
fine.
will be a new club. And to get the credit, you have to enter in at the new club.
All right, all right. And so is there a similar period for being a coach at a club?
Coaches usually, that's a good question, but coach usually serves till such time they come up to speed and has those members, etc., in that particular
Mm-hmm.
time period of the thing. Yes. Yeah, but
Okay,
basically,
okay.
fundamentally, he has to be present for 6 months, yes, to a year,
6 months in
whatever
order
it
to
may
get
take.
the credit.
Yeah, whatever it may be taking the time for it, for that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, one last question before we wrap up is that you mentioned that mentor, like in order to get the credit, it will be for a new club,
Yes,
right?
mentor
So for to
and
get the
sponsor
credits for
both.
a coach,
Mentor and
yes,
sponsor
okay.
both. Yeah.
So for the coach part, can it be like a new club? Like can it be like
Not
any
a new
club, or
club.
it has to be a new club?
Coach is not a new club. Coaches are for
Okay,
dying clubs. New clubs are
all
only
right.
sponsor and mentors. No time
Mm-hmm.
period for sponsors. That's why you see to become DTM, everybody runs to be a sponsor because people don't like to work hard. They like everything easy. They like DTM the easy way. So what they do, they make some friends here, there, whatever. and they get the easy way out. But of course, mentoring is not that easy. To find that particular person is not easy who's experienced. Sponsors, you can get plenty. But to get that experience, the longer you are in Toastmasters, the better you become. To get that is not that easy. So yes,
Mhm.
experienced person be mentors. And the whole thing is to be a DTM is how much time you have spent in Toastmasters. The longer you spend, the better you become.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah, but then again,
Okay,
it's from
now,
individual to individual. Like,
okay,
for
now
example,
from,
I know trainers, all right, they are very good. So they don't need much skills in communication, or if they are in their companies and they are in leadership positions. So, yes, they can go at a fast pace. If you really need to develop yourself and come up to speed and raise that bar to a level that you have in mind to be a good speaker, communicator, yes, it'll take time. It depends from individual to individual. Please.
okay, okay. Okay, now, as you mentioned that there is no specific duration for this to achieve this. So, for example, is there a certain limit? Like, for example, you have to be like, you should have spent like 3 years in Toastmasters and only then you can go for the DTM?
No,
Or
not this.
there is no time duration restrictions?
There's no time duration at all. As I said, how active you are and how much time you give of yourself to Toastmasters. Right?
Okay.
You can do it. Like, say, if you finish the two parts, say, in 1 year, you focus
Mhm.
on it. All right. After joining, let's say 6 months you join, and there is a club opening, and say you are part of a new club opening, then yes, you can become a sponsor. How much effort? A sponsor is one who is actively involved with the host. Like for me now, if I see anybody who's helping me a lot and who has not achieved DTM, I will ask that person, okay, here is the opportunity for you to be a sponsor and achieve that club extension credit you need in DTM. Would you like it? You know,
Okay, I get it.
yes, like that. So there's an opportunity for a sponsor, two sponsors and two mentors. I will tell somebody else, yes, would you like to be a mentor here? There's an opportunity here. But depends upon how involved you get in the formation of the new club.
Okay, as you
Does that
said that, so
answer your question?
yes, it did. So it means that in short, it varies from person to person. How fast they go, what pace they are keeping up.
Yes.
It totally depends on that.
You know, one of the, I've seen many Toastmasters, and I regret to say that. To reach that pinnacle DTM, you got to be, above the rest. What shall I say? The best, not one of the best. You have to have a certain aura in you, that charisma, that demeanor, that yes, people will say, his English is amazing, very prolific. His articulation, phonation, etc., for that matter. You know, his voice language, his body language, words, the way he speaks, the way he crafts is simply something that I want to be. They have to look upon you. You have to be the model, their mentor, their manager, and a minister. There are the four attributes very important once you reach that pinnacle. So you have to ask yourself, am I that? Do I need more to do? Or shall I just need to be a DTM just to say to everybody, be a DTM? Like some of them I have noticed, I mean, no offense to anybody. When you get a recognition, you get a reward, that award, which is good, great. But you have got to ask yourself, am I really worth it? These are the questions, burning questions you got to ask yourself. Many do it, of course, most of the times we do it to raise our self esteem, self worth, and self respect. Because this self esteem are two things, internal and external. Most of the time we look at it from the external point of it because we want to be accepted in the society, in the community, for people get that recognition. But I say to everybody, find the recognition within you, inside you, and that is your attitude. Because what lies in
Very
front of you, what lies behind you is nothing compared to what lies inside you. And that is your attitude, as Eleanor Roosevelt rightly said. So, what is your attitude? Different people have different attitudes, as each one is unique, depending on their DNA. You see? So, yeah, does that answer your question? Oh,
yes, you answered it very well with a profound ending.
okay. Anything else, man?
No,
Anything I
thank you
missed
so
out?
much for your time. No, I think you have covered all the points, and thank you so much for making time for this particular session and answering all my questions.
Yeah, most welcome. It has been a pleasure and a privilege to have you in my channel. You
Thank
are
you so much for
amazing.
your invitation.
Madam Toastmaster Midat, you are amazing. At such a young age, I envy you. I wasn't like this at that age. I was an engineer, totally introvert, and immersed in my work. I used to like extrovert part, public speaking was totally different. But yes, you are indeed amazing at that point, and I wish you all the best in your journey to be a DTM.
Thank you so
I
much.
wish you all the best. Thank you so much for being on my channel. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we come to the end of the topic, your path to your DTM in Toastmasters International. Bye bye. Till we meet again. This is Leo, DTM Leo Conrad D'Souza, wishing you all the best and take care of yourselves.